Stop talking about it.
The sec. Cole Campbell here with Hitting with the Nation, and today we kind of have a weird little BP Day video. We got some content creators here, League Night Heroes, Average Dudes. By the way, Average Dude, stand up, Hendo, stand up.
He's the furthest thing from Average Dudes.
This is an Average Dude?
Whatever.
Whatever. I don't know, stand next to Miz. Stand next to Miz.
Hold on, you ready? You ready?
All right. All right, but anyway, so we're going to have some fun.
Hey,
we're going to do a bat of the day today, and we're just going to kind of go with what do the creators do? You know, there's lights, there's cameras, and there's pocket radar.
And whatever that is.
It's a light, Miz. I know they don't have lights in the Dominican Republic, but
I mean, we still.
We
got here's some bats. We got some Junos.
We don't.
Put away the special stuff. New Tantrum. Some Anarchies. So let's just get to it. All right. So if you're as lucky as we are and you get to open up several tunnels, you can hit left, right, whatever. But if you're in just a single tunnel, and I've kind of said this before, but don't get tunnel vision. Try to be able to, if the ball is a little bit outside, let it get deep and push it into the net, and be okay with hitting the ball hard into the net where what would be a 3-4 hole or something like that, or pull into the net for 5-6. It really limits you in the way that you're taking the pitches if you just try to have tunnel vision and you hit it straight to the back every time. So even though we're here, I'm still going to go through my normal progression. I'm going to work on my one arm, going to push it and work my way back around over to the side. Boy, you whack it, man.
Feeling pretty good today.
I'm saying your ability to swing hard is something that some people don't have, like, but just your ability to use like all of your body, like from your hips. Like some people can't open up like that, like, and you swing hard. So I'd like to try this power cell. All right, so this power cell is a full ounce end load, 12.5. Oh man. Did y'all ever hit the mutant? So I think the mutant was the same. It might have been a 13. So really gonna work on keeping my hands in for this. I'm gonna scoot a little closer. I'm gonna work behind the ball. I'm gonna go through my checklist real quick.
You know I love the pepper. You know I love that pepper. Yeah, I'm talking.
Where I stand in the box is gonna be a little higher. So I like to catch the ball higher, especially when I'm pushing. I'm gonna take my front foot and slightly close. This really doesn't matter. It's where you end. You don't want to be closed off and then trying to twist. So you want to be able to land at a neutral spot or an open spot. If you start off a little bit too open, then you're going to be pulling away from the ball. So I'm going to be about even, slightly closed off here. And then I'm going to push this knee inward so it's in front of my foot. My hip is over my foot. I'm balanced here where I can put my toe down and keep my balance when I pick it up. And I'm going to try to make contact from here. So I'm a little early, so I'm going to try to sit back even further. There you go. Now, these are inside pitches, so if I'm going to push it, I'm going to have to step away and give my hands some room. But you want your wrist to be the last thing to go. Take a deep breath. Now I'm going to work over that little cutout. Try not to be too much on my front foot, but right over the screen. Now that was a little bit too much top hand. Okay, I'm a little over swinging. I'm going to do one bat wiggle. There you go. Okay, now I got my spot. Coming right through. Hand side. Don't overswing. There you go. Okay, that is my first round. It's a lot of talking there, a lot of analyzing, a lot of swing fix. And if you're going to do that, do it in your first round. You can always fix your swing a little bit easier and tell what's wrong when you're pushing, and then work your way over to the middle. I feel if you're just pulling the ball, your timing can be off, and then that can mess up a lot of what you're doing with your hands, a lot of where your feet are. So to be able to sit back, use just a little bit more hands and a little bit less lower body, and then really tune that in. If I can hit those spots to the push side the way that I want, and I'm really watching the ball hit the bat, once we get over to the pull, it's a lot easier. So that's my first round, and then now I'm loose, my back is warm, and we're gonna work on a little bit middle gap and pulling down the line on the next one. Okay, so this is ADS, Drew Henderson, right? Henderson?
Hendo came from the military being lazy and saying Henderson was too long.
So talk me through when you do a normal BP that's not a review. What do you use? Where do you start? What's your go-to?
Yeah, so for me, typically nowadays I'll use the Juno BP bat, or I'll bring out like a wood bat. It really just depends on temp, stuff like that. But either way, to get loose, I'll start out hitting basically something like middle backside, kind of just going with the pitch still. I don't like to let a whole bunch of pitches go. Or middle backside. Once I feel loose, I'll start pulling a little bit more, just to obviously make sure everything's feeling good. And then from that point on, I'm going with just the pitch.
All right, let's see it. How does the BP bat feel?
So the BP bat's nice. I think if you guys have seen the video from us, we did it as well. But what's really nice about it is the sweet spot is 100% smaller than your average gamer. It was intentional from Juno. So what I like about this is, the same reason I use a wood bat, is you really know early on where you're making that contact. As far as high, low, off the sweet spot, get a lot of feedback on your hands. So
I'm gonna try.
It can be tough to use in the cold at times. I'll tell you that right now. But oh, look at that. We got the actual BP picture here. Yeah, my reason for going backside to start, I think Cole's talked about it plenty, is it lets you make sure you're kind of finding that sweet spot, seeing the pitches without having to over torque your back. And that's what you're looking for, nice level swings. And then with the BP batter like that, I can tell when I'm catching the sweet spot versus not. So when we swap over to the actual bats, it should make you more consistent.
In a game, do you change where you stand in the box depending on where you want to go?
So once I get loose, right, just being taller, I back up a little bit more for the sole purpose of making sure it's a little bit easier to go backside and not adjust anything.
Just while you're getting loose?
Then as soon as I'm loose, the rest of my BP is done in the exact same spot I would be in a game.
And that's what I would suggest.
Yeah.
You don't want to tell the difference where you're going with your feet.
Yeah, and I've just found, depending on who's pitching, it can be tough if you're in your normal spot and those guys can't paint the backside just right, and now you're getting loose with kind of bad swings. Yeah. Each person's obviously different. I mean, for me, it's only about 10, 15 swings. And now I'll sit more middle pull. And as long as my first couple pulls feel pretty good, then we're good to kind of swing away. More middle pull, just depending on where it's at.
I'll get behind it.
And I will be more selective when I'm actually hitting. But when I'm getting loose, I try not to let too many balls go by, especially depending on how many BP
You're
balls
thinking
I
about
actually have.
doing a BP. Ooh. Make sure you get a net.
Yeah, that swing, sweet spot, what I want. And I can tell from a little bit of torque, the back's fine, and I'm pretty close, and I'll just kind of swing away.
Do you have a fix whenever you tend to be bouncing the ball in the middle? Because that's what I do a lot. When I try to go middle, I'll bounce it. Like, I don't know why. You have a fix for that?
So, well, at least on the last swing, probably didn't mention it, but that was one of those where out of your hand, I made up my mind early I was going to pull. It was the perfect pitch to go middle. So I ended up stepping out, and it was a lot of off balance. But if it's, normally for me, if I'm bouncing like you're talking about, it was I got lazy with my hands. And so it's really focused on
What
my
does
hand.
that look like? Lazy hands look like?
So for me, I like to keep my hands pretty much like neck height at all times. And what I'll do is I'll start to load up for middle, and I'll drop them down here. So then as I'm swinging, I'm trying to bring my hands back up, and that leads to me kind of get on top of that
So
ball.
it's an up and down motion that you didn't want.
And then if you keep your hands up, it works. So then for me, again, if I have bats I want to break in, something we're demoing, once I feel loose, like I'm catching a sweet spot with this, then I'll swap over. And really, you should see kind of a more consistent BP session at that point. So we'll hop over to Cannell's tantrum and make sure everything's kind of working.
So now you pull in more? Or?
I'm just going to go with the pitch.
All right.
That one's more towards the end. Again, I know I went for a low pitch, shouldn't have. Hunter. And I should have went more backside with that one. My big tendency, and I've worked on this off season, is being tall. I find I step early at times, get out in front of it, so that I'm making contact earlier than I want to, and not letting it travel to go backside. So that's something I know for me I need to work on. And then if you pump fake, it's coming back middle. And everyone's different. I know some people start their hands real low, then get set. For me, as soon as the pitcher's ready to on the mound, I get loaded and kind of stay in the same spot. And I have that bat wiggle just to kind of keep everything a little bit loose. But if I start with my hands low, I'll mess my swing up every time. But yeah, that's typically, for me, how I'll go through a round when we're not doing videos. If we are, after that kind of warm up, whether it's the BB bat, whatever it's using, that's when we're going to obviously pull the bat out, start kind of getting our swings in there and roll from there.
So you played, you said D like 2 years ago? or
I was D in 2022, bumped to C in 23, and then after Challenge Cup in 24 is when I got bumped to B.
And last year you played with Sports Reach?
Yeah, so I got picked up by, if I got picked up with A, LSR, going into the Columbus and the Smoky. Those are my 2 terms with them. I think I picked up Sports Reach to basically finish out the year with the dual conference championships in the Worlds.
And what do you think was the simple one thing that helped you progress through that? Was it people you knew? Was it people seeing you do good in big games? What got you through there?
It was definitely the people I knew, but also being able to and willing to take kind of that advice, even if it was criticism. So Sam Samdahl, coach from New Mexico, military coach for me as well. Another military coach, Rob Lugaro, they were like, hey dude, plate discipline for you. Everything jumps for you if you swing at strikes. Sure enough, major jump. And I'm lucky enough to have Ryan Honeycutt in our state as well, one of the better guys obviously out there. And that guy will give you advice anytime he sees your swing. Just be willing to take it. And just don't be afraid of criticism. I mean, it may be negative at times, but most guys should be trying to help you out and not should be trying to fix it, obviously.
How big of a part do you think the amount of time that you put in has changed your swing in your game?
So you mean like channel-wise, right? Like all the BP time, all that time.
All the BPs that you've ended up doing, like the way that you can analyze your own swing, I felt is one of my biggest pluses because I can tell what I'm doing wrong and fix it faster. If when I was a lower level, I had a whole tournament and I was off the whole tournament because I just thought something's wrong, but I don't know what it is.
No, okay, yeah, so 100%. So I still credit where I am now mostly to the amount of time putting in swinging, but not just going out there and swinging without a purpose. So yeah, we're doing reviews and stuff, but even during the reviews, I'll tell the guys on there like, oh, I know I brought my hands in and hand jam myself or went for a bad pitch, things like that. So whatever that number of swings is you have to put in to really understand this is what I did wrong on that swing, I think that's a very, very big component. Otherwise, you get how I'm still very superstitious, but I mean, we're talking to the point where before my fix was new batting gloves, new bat, new cleat, whatever it might be. And now it's, okay, it's still not going well after I switch the stuff that I know I'm doing wrong. Now I might switch my batting gloves, but you get less superstitious when you're confident in your game, for sure. So,
Well, I appreciate it.
absolutely.
Okay, Miz is going to take a few swings. What are you hitting here?
I always forget how hot D-bats are, man. I should have rushed. I didn't bring a single pair of
Axe
shorts
and
because,
Inferno. You still got
cold as shit here.
uh,
Actually, I think it's
Girl
great,
Scout
but-
cookies in his mouth.
Yeah, it's the Action Inferno, one piece.
Woo,
The
gas.
very first one piece. So,
All right, so we're hitting the axe, but we're eating the
Use code ADF on
peanut
Snapchat.
butter patties.
Oh, wait, it doesn't work.
Good
I
call.
was going to yell your code out, but I don't know what it is.
LNA.
No, I said, do I look good? Thank you.
All right, tell me what you think of
Buzz.
that bat. I'm interested in the axe. How does it feel?
Feels all right. You give me two more, I'll tell you.
My pitching is gone. Ooh. Nothing but sweet spot. Only worry about sweet spot.
So,
All of this swing talk and analyzing
actually,
your feet
it
and your
feels
hands and your
good.
timing and where.
but you need to get used to the knob. That's
If
what I'm
you-
struggling right now.
If you focus on watching the ball hit the barrel, it's going to fix 85% of your inconsistency. You're popping the ball up or hitting the ball straight into the ground. Most of that doesn't have to do with your timing and your hands and your wrists and your feet. It's, are you watching the ball hit the barrel? I get you a beauty right here. First thoughts on the axe?
I mean, it's pretty cool bat. I mean, the color's
We don't have to do a
amazing.
full review or nothing. Just
But for me, it's, yeah, that right there
hard to get used to.
is hard for me to get used to. So,
This is the new tantrum, apparently.
yep. Now this,
What'd that feel like?
that one felt good.
Did it
Yeah.
feel like the Resmondo, or did it still feel like a tantrum?
Still feel like a tantrum.
Softer-ish
Yeah.
barrel?
Yeah.
Does the barrel feel harder than the tantrums from last year?
No, I actually feel the same.
Same.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah. So I
That
mean,
is-
it's the same. This is a new plain job, and that's about it.
Well, and this is also 12 and a half. It's a little shorter barrel, so might give you a little bit more stiffness.
Yeah. Like a really good session. Right now, I don't like feel comfortable right now for whatever reason. There's too much going on. I don't really feel comfortable.
A lot of filming, a lot of
So kind of like
Lot
so
of
hard. Yeah, a lot of talking, a lot of film, a lot of. So I need to like block all that off now, and I guess I'm gonna take my last set and just turn everything off and just focus on this.
focus. Yep. What do you do to get your focus? Like especially even in a game or something?
Just trying to clear my mind. Don't think about anything else. Just something that like calm me down. Basically, I just think about music or anything like that, and just focus on the ball. Not trying to like where to go, where to play, or anything like that. Just keep my mind clear. Any soft song or whatever, and just focus on the ball. That's it.
What's your go-to song?
I got so many. It's all up in the mood.
AC/DC?
ACDC. Hey, Guns N' Roses.
Okay.
You know, nothing go wrong with that.
For this portion of our BP day, I am going to do what I call the bat of the day. Here's what I'm going to try. We have a Juno MR1. We have a Axe Inferno Inloaded. And then we have the new Canel Easton Tantrum. So this is not a full review. I don't know what these are testing at. I'm just gonna give you a feel, and I'm gonna pick a bat of the day out of these that I like more. Who knows which one is more broken in or what, but we're just gonna kind of feel them out. This is not a review, just bat of the day. I'm also gonna try this BP bat and a short port senior bat. Just a few swings with this Juno BP bat. Apparently you got to hit the sweet spot. I will say the weighting on it feels really nice. This is a 26 1 ounce inload. Hey, on these BP bats, do they only come in 1 ounce inload?
It's 100% customizable, just like the regular. Only thing you can't currently customize is the handle.
Customizable. Okay. All Junos are customizable?
Every Juno you can pick from balance to full, and it goes in 0.2.
That's pretty cool. How do they paint them to know the difference? You just have to look at the knob and you have to, oh, okay. That's fine. You might want to use this at the tournament tomorrow. Definitely felt not hitting the sweet spot on that. Wow, pretty cool for a BP bat. Now, just a couple swings with this senior bat. Is a radar on, or y'all turn that off? It's fine. It don't matter either way. I just never tried a senior. Okay. What if I break this? All right, that is a senior bat. I'm going to start with the one-piece Tantrum because it's closest to what I've swung last year. 27 ounce. Feels kind of light on the end. Definitely feels like a Tantrum. This feels a little light on the end. Yeah, it's a manufacturer's loophole. Like I was saying on the podcast, there's not an actual half-ounce inload. It's just a made-up term so the person that's buying it can understand. Is it heavier inload or... Because if there wasn't that, like everybody uses that, right? Like, and if there wasn't that, people would, oh, okay, is loaded the same as XL? Like, I don't know, like, but they can't put half ounce because it's just made up. All right, little light on the end. Definitely feels like a Tantrum still. I like the one piece. Okay, now I'm gonna go for the axe. I gotta get used to this. So if you've never hit an axe with the flared handle, so you're always hitting the same side, X marks the spot. Okay, so far everything that I've hit, I've missed on the low side. I don't know if this handle is making me dip, but I've popped it up. Stiff. As far as one piece, feels stiff, it's good. Sweet spot's not very forgiving on the hands. That was sweet spot. Huh? No. It's just, I just hit way harder than you. Not Dylan, though. Not Dylan. Do y'all feel like the sweet spot is big or small on the axes? The sweet spot's bigger. Okay. One swing, one swing. Yeah. So, but it's more towards the end on the end loaded ones, right? Because I kept hitting it right here and not getting good. Okay, last one with this. You got to keep it towards the end on these. Juno MR1. How many swings would you say? 100? So you said this one's 250. Little bit of webbing. This is a 26. Like a mid load, like a 0.25 end load. Still feels kind of like a half. Ooh. Okay. I felt do they have a one piece? Does Juno?
Yes.
What do you think about the one piece compared to the two piece?
If you're a one piece fan, the one piece can. But they're not the same time.
Well, I just missed it on the end a little bit, and that's whenever you can feel the two piece, but that's more user error, but. Last one. Whew. Okay, bat of the day. Juno wins it. I would actually take this over the senior bat. First Juno I've swung and did not disappoint. This is a 0.25 end load, what they call, but it definitely feels like a half. I don't know anything about these. Okay, 12.5-inch barrel. All right, Miz.
I mean, I see you swinging. I want to swing. Golly. Oh. I'm super impressed. First time I ever swing a Juno. First time ever. And I'm impressed. Like, extremely impressed. So easy to, like, just throw your hands at it. Every single swing, sweet spot. Like, right over here. Like, it's no doubt. I'm really impressed.
Too heavy. I mean, that wasn't too light.
It wasn't too light. It wasn't too heavy. We just, like, very, very easy to.
That's a 27, right?
Yep. No, that's a 26.
Oh, that's a 26?
This is 26.
Okay. Okay, we're out with done with this BP day, and thanks for tuning in. Hope you learned something, and until next time, golly.
Checking in, baby. Yum, yum, yum.
Peace.